Welcome back to the Ponca City Monthly podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and we are getting all the way through April. I don't know if you're a gardener like me, you have set out all of your plants. You probably did weeks ago. I don't know how the weather's going to be. I still think it's going to snow in April, but we'll see. So this month in the magazine, we have a great story. We always like to feature stuff from Pioneer Tech, some of the different schools that we have around here, because we are fortunate to have quite a few schools close by. So Pioneer Tech has a great story about their partners in progress. And so I thought it'd be great to have someone from Pioneer Tech come over. So we got Terri Bush. Terri, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Andy?
It's
good
great.
to be here.
Since we record these things really far in advance, I can say this. I am getting blown around today.
Oh, we are. Yes. Like I said to you, it was like I call it a chinking day. I don't want to let go of my door because I'm going to hit the car next to me day.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy, wasn't it? Yes. And then the hair, I was like, is everything smooth?
I remember, so I'm from Tulsa, and I feel like we had windy days, but man, since I moved here, I feel like the wind just does not stop.
Well, I'm originally from Western Oklahoma, and this is it. This is what we have. Yeah, this is it. And some days great, some days not. So yeah. But I've lived in Ponca City for 26 years, so I've been here quite a while. Yeah. I had an uncle that moved here from Missouri, and he goes, "I have to comb my hair like every day," and I said, "Yep, that's Oklahoma for you." You know, but yeah, it's true.
And there's no amount of dusting you can do that solves any of that problem,
especially when you live on a dirt road.
I feel bad for those people. No rain, dirt road is not fun. That's how I grew up.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. So I was dusting once a week, and then you'd still see it there.
You just give up. I've been wanting to get a Roomba because in my head I'm like, oh, that will solve the problem.
Yeah.
But
at least on the floors.
I don't know. I don't have much faith in it.
I understand.
So let's talk about the article first, because we've got a lot of things to talk about, because there's always so much going on at Pioneer Tech.
Yes.
So let's first dive into that. Tell me a little bit about the Partner in Progress. What is that program to start out with, first of all?
That's a great question. Partner in Progress is actually an award. It really is a recognition, and it's an award that is given to a business. And every career tech, we have 29 career techs, they can choose a business. And this is something that we have done every year, and we do this. Now, it is featured through the Business and Industry Services Division or Workforce Development. It depends on which career tech you're at, but they all do the same things. And so what we do is we pick a business. We've had past ones. We've had Cook Shack. We've had lots of other businesses. Head Country was one year. And we choose a business that not only do we work with, but our students also are inspired by, or maybe they have hired our students, things like that. And there are so many businesses, local businesses in our entire district, because you remember we're over Tonkawa, Ponca City, Newkirk, Fairfax, and I said Newkirk, Tonkawa, Blackwell. I'm so sorry. I usually can rattle those off, but it must be because, I'm having to do it. Yeah. But so the Partner in Progress Award has been around a long time. And this year we chose Tom Riley with Tomco Metal Fab. And the reason why we chose him and his company, Tom not only is a graduate of Pioneer Tech, but also his business was instrumental. We have always, welding is a very popular program that we have, welding technology. And we have wanted to expand that. And when we expanded it, we knew we would have to kind of shut it down for just a little bit because, we've got to work in there. We've got to do all of these things. So when we began the process of expanding it, and we spent about $1.8 million on the project to do that, Tom offered up his shop, his Tomco shop, to go over there. So we bussed our students over to his business, used his facility. They were able to still do all the things that they could do, that they did before. And he partnered with us in that. He's also a member of our foundation, our Pioneer Tech Foundation, and he's just a good friend. He's a good friend of Pioneer Tech. And so choosing him, like all the other businesses that we have chosen over the years, it was just natural because of that great partnership, And it was funny when Tracy told me, Tracy Thorpe, our superintendent, she called over there and said to him, hey, we'd like to choose you for this. He was so honored. And I mean, he was just like, wow, I just can't believe this. Thank you so much. But it's not like that. It's thank you, thank you for all that you do for Pioneer Tech. And so he is in good company with many, many other businesses who have continued to support us. We continue to partner with them. Our job is to grow the workforce, and we want to put the workforce out there for the businesses of our district so that they can prosper. I mean, that's why we're here, to work together with everybody. And Tom Riley and his business, we had the chance to celebrate him through this.
Yeah. I think it was, you probably wrote the story now that I'm like thinking about it, but a few months ago
I
did about the welding program. It's new building.
Yes.
That's a really fantastic facility.
It is. It's it was great before, but now if you go in there and you can look back at a past issue because we ran the story as well, and you can look at the pictures, it's so wide open now. Yeah. And I think that's what's great about it, because in Career Tech, we not only have our classroom, we have labs. And so if you go into welding, you'll see a classroom, you'll see lockers in it, but the lab is where they do all the welding. Sure. That's where the shear machine is and all the different machining things that we have out there for them. And they're learning the basics of welding so that they can go off to whatever job that is and do their best. And maybe we don't teach every intricate thing of the welding, but what they're doing is they're learning the basics so that they can go to whatever job that is. And there's many welding jobs in Ponca City and beyond our district as well. And they can find out, what does this business exactly want us to do? And we've always had, that program has always been full. And so the whole point of this was like, how can we expand the program? Sure. We also are expanding it. We are going to begin launching an evening program. We have had evening welding in the past, but it's been more short term. If we bring it in as a full-time program, then people can get like grants. They can get money from the government to come and take the class. And so you're learning a skill and you can get financial aid to do that.
It seems to me like, in the short time that I've been in Ponca City, you guys have done a lot of impropements, because
we also really have.
Did you do the cosmetology?
We did. That was it's been almost 5 years ago now. Isn't that crazy?
It hasn't. It was last week.
I know. That's exactly how I feel, Andy. And I was actually taking a tour today. I was just telling you about that. And we went over there. We called that the Westward Expansion. And what it was about 24,000 square feet that we renovated, and we added some on. It was almost 20,000 square feet that we actually added on. And that was the cosmetology program, was part of that, because again, our cosmetology program is always full. And so we wanted to expand it. And so now, you can have like 25 students, AM and PM, total of 50 students if you needed that. And then also culinary arts, that was a major program for us. And we didn't have a teaching kitchen. And teaching kitchen is very important, not only for our full-time program of culinary arts, but also for our short-term classes. I don't know if you've ever taken any of our food classes in the evening, but they're super fun.
You guys have, there's a ton of classes.
Yes.
Lots. I get the magazine, because you send out the magazine every
Yes,
spring.
I'm holding it up right now. So I have a cheat sheet. There you go. And this is the pizza class. This is actually going on this week, but I know that this podcast will go on later, but the pizza making with your parents. So very fun.
I saw there was like a canning class.
Yep.
I popped on the website today just to get a feel for things.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. So many programs, different stuff, adult and high school programs.
We have 17 full-time programs, from all the things we talked about, like welding, health related, 17 of those different programs. And then we have numerous short-term programs that you can do. And so there's really something for everybody. And like I was telling you before we got started, I always like to characterize and categorize where we are as Pioneer Tech. We have our business and industry services, which the Tomco, choosing them as partner for progress, really this is in their wheelhouse. But then we also have adult training and development. Those are our short-term classes. And then we have full-time programs. Those are the full-time students that come out, not just high school students, but we have adult students in those 17 programs as well.
Yeah, so much going on. Talk a little bit about enrollment, because it's kind of, it's been a while since I've been in high school.
That's okay. But it's been a while for me too.
It's about have they already made their decision if they're enrolling, or is it still open enrollment?
There is open enrollment. High school students are making those decisions right now. Okay. And we have enrolled so many already. We already know some of our programs. We're like, oh man, we might have to put some of them on their second choice. Sure. Because what we do is we ask them, what's your first choice? What's your second choice? And some of our first choices are already full, which that's a great problem. And that's why we are expanding and we're doing more with that. But yes, so enrollment is happening right now. And then June, July, that's when we really start focusing on those adults coming into full-time programs. Sure. Because we do make allotments and have slots for specifically adults. And that's anyone over the age of 18. We also have people that come in that, let's say, I don't know, we were all in high school. Your senior year, you have all these great plans, right? I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do all of this. Everything is going to go perfectly. Nothing is ever going to happen. I am going to have the most perfect life. Well, that doesn't happen. Right. And let's say maybe that first year didn't do well for them. We do have the 13th year scholarship, and that applies to different people. Some of it applies, let's say you only came to Pioneer Tech for your senior year and you need to finish, okay? And then it also applies to those that maybe didn't get to come to Pioneer Tech when they were in high school. And so you revisit and you say, you know what? College really didn't work out for me.
Sure.
And I need a job. I need training. And so we make allowances for those. And those are all different. You have to apply for that. It's up to our student services division of who gets that and all of those things. But let's just say you're a parent, you're listening right now, your kid went to college this year, it did not work for them. Call us. Yeah. Now is the time. Have them call us. Come in. We had a kid from our church, and he called me and he says, Terri, I really want to get training in this. And I go, hey, come up to student services. We can help you. We'll do what we can. And so, yes, high school students are enrolling right now, but also adults will start in June and July because we do hold slots for that. We do hold slots for that.
Because I guess being a trade school, you're not kind of like a college where you take the summer off. You guys are there all the time. People that are learning stuff.
That's true. I mean, full-time programs is not part of some of our programs are not part of summer, but like practical nursing is,
sure.
Basic peace officer certification is, and several others. So, and then we even have that welding program, which is going to run through the summer as well at times. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. And so, but yes, we are a trade school, but we're so much more, we're so much more. And, something for everyone is what I always say. Because
you guys have a pretty robust STEM program as well, right?
We do. If you want to take the biotech part of STEM, we have that in Biomedical Sciences Academy, and we even take sophomores in that class. And so they're enrolling for that right now. And then we also have it just got renamed. It was called Mechatronics. And so now it's called Electronics, Automation, and Robotics. I have to say it just to make sure I get it all right. But yes, and that is a great program, and that is very STEM related, very engineering, very math related, and we do have room in that program. So if you're a future, manager of robotics, if you're wanting to understand electronics, if you're wanting to know automation because you want to work in one of the many industry that we have here in K County, this is a great program for you.
Like you just did the welding program. Mm-hmm. That was a big, how often do you have to do those kind of things to stay relevant?
You mean like renovate and stuff like that?
Or like not just renovate, but like evaluate and say, hey, this is now, I think in the automation, a few years ago, we had on the cover where there was a welding machine.
You did. It was the laser welder. It was Johnny Thornburg.
I told you before you sat down, we talk about you guys all the time. We're always in the magazine. We do our best because it's such an important program.
We're blessed by that. Thank you.
But,
Thank you.
How do you gauge this is coming and we need to start preparing, our workforce for this?
I'm really glad you asked me that because we do have a process in place of how to do that, and it's called advisory boards. Every program has their own advisory board, and these are made up of community members, people at the industry in our county, in our district, telling us, guys, this is next. Guys, you're going to need this piece of equipment. Everybody get this. Hey, this is the up and coming thing. We don't do it on our own.
Sure.
We don't do it. It is something, as we partner with other technology centers, we can see, oh, they're doing that over here at Central Tech. Oh, Autry has this. We can do that. But really, we are so dependent upon our community because we are training our workers for our community. If something like collision repair was something that we had for many, many years, but we found out that it was people were staying in collision repair for many, many years. So there weren't a lot of local jobs. So guess what? We moved that program. We sunsetted that program and we brought in firefighter, EMT, criminal justice. We brought in things that people are needing jobs for. We listened to our community. That's what we did. And so that's how we do that, Andy. We're listening to our advisors. We're listening to the people that tell us, hey, this is coming in the next 5 years. This is coming in the next 10 years. We couldn't do it on our own. And so as we're listening to those things, we're making changes with that. And so these capital improvements, the things that we're doing, a lot of things right now, I will tell you with what's happening with the possible ad valorem tax and things at the Capitol, all of us as career techs are very worried about that because that would be detrimental to us to operate. And so whatever plans we have put some things kind of on hold until we know where that's going because we want to be right and we want to be conservative about those things. And we would have to take a huge step in a different direction if any of these things passed. That would be very, I'm just going to say it, hurtful for the career tech system. Yeah. If that happened and if that went through. And so, but yes, that's how we stay on top of things. It's because of our advisors. And so having these, I love it. We call it advisory night and we have a dinner for them every November. And everybody comes in. Sometimes it's upward to 300 people on campus. Wow. And it's an imperative, wonderful, fun time. And I get to take all the pictures and I get to say, hey, I'm so glad you guys are here. And that's one of my favorite things to do because everyone comes on campus and the whole entire night is about what can we do? How can we be better? What are you looking for? What do you need? What are we not teaching that we can? And so it's a partnership. It's a partnership, Andy. And that's how we know that all of those things are coming up.
Yeah. Speaking of partnerships, part of what you were talking about with Tom Riley was that he used, and I think I keep saying the name wrong. So tell me, is it business services?
Oh, it's business and industry services. We call it BIZ for short. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a program that any small business can access. That's and they're local here in town and they do all kinds of amazing things.
Yes.
A great team of people for whatever industry you may want to incubate and sort of plan out and start off with the best foot. I always think it's great. And every time I have a chance to, I brag that I think Brooke Lindsay is one of my favorite graphic
she's
designers.
Wonderful. Yep, she's great.
She always does such, if you need a logo, stuff like that, that's sort of her forte and what she helps out with. So,
Absolutely. She does. And business and industry services is amazing. I mean, they're amazing. They are a team of people who get things done. And if somebody, and it's funny because a lot of people will say, oh, business industry services, I didn't know that was there. And everyone, I know that frustrates them sometimes because they're like, not everybody knows about us, but I'm telling you this, when you need them, you know about them.
Yeah.
You know about them. And I was going over it because anything from agricultural business management, bid assistance, that's working with the government, business incubator, entrepreneurial services, industry training, leadership development, marketing solutions, that's what Brooke does, safety training, self-employment training, and small business management. So we cover the gamut of what you need. I'm gonna your neighbors, Sunny Creek Trading Post, started out in our incubator. And I could actually go through and just think of all the businesses down here and other places. The consignment store, Her Review, started out as an incubator client. So these are people that have used our services, and also people who I think of Shots Publishing over by Blackwell. They used our services. Speak Now used our services. All of these different businesses, they come together, and our team, their job is to make you succeed.
Yeah,
that's their job, and they do such a great job at it. They're wonderful. I'm so blessed to work with each one of them. I get to have breakfast with a lot of them, and I absolutely love that. Anything from doing things with entrepreneurs, like 1 Million Cups is coming up. It's actually, we do it the first Wednesday of the month. And so that'll come up in April. We'll do it again in May. We usually take a break in the summer, but we bring entrepreneurs in to have them talk about where their business is going. And it's great. That's one way. We also customize training. When I think of Jen Miller does leadership training. She does these great retreats, and you can bring your business in. Maybe you're trying to get a strategic plan together. Maybe you're trying to grow your employees. She does have the manager's tool belt that is now currently running, and she does a great job with that. So managers, they need skills. We need managers and leaders who have good skills. And this is what she's teaching in communication skills, all kinds of things. We've got Ben Evans, and Ben is with SBA, and he small business, and he does such a great job with that. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're wanting to know about loans, if you're wanting to know about any of those things, he can help you. Sure. Safety for our industry, that's another thing. We have an entire safety group. We do safety training out for Phillips out at on their land at that new safety facility. I don't know if you've been through it. It's amazing. It's so cool. It's so cool. If you have a chance to go through it, do it. But anything. So we can work from a business that's been established to a business that is just a dream. Sure. That's literally what this team can do. And they're all led by Molly Kyler, and they just do an amazing job. Yeah. So yeah, definitely worth. And again, everyone says, oh, I didn't know about that. But I'm telling you, when you need them, you'll know about it, because everybody will talk about it. Have you went to Pioneer Tech? Have you talked to Business and Industry Services? Have you seen what they can do? And I'm trying to go around all the offices, but I think I covered everybody. Yeah. To Janet. Janet is she's the incubator manager, and that's what she does. Bid assistance with Dawn Breakey. She's working with the government. All of those things. So
because it sort of all ties in, because the Ponca City Development does their pitch off every year.
They do,
which is a great way if you need some sort of startup, a little bit of startup cash, things like that, a little foot in the door, and it sort of starts with Ben.
Yeah.
It sort of helps you and I think Ben is really great for helping you decide, is this business feasible? Because I know there's been times when I've been like, hey, I have this idea. And he's like, yeah, that's probably not going to make any money.
Ben's a realist. Ben's a realist. And that's why he does what he does, because he asks the hard questions. Yeah. And he does a great job with that. So I agree.
Yeah. The business services, figure that you find them. If that's something that's you're interested in starting a business, seek them out.
They can
take advantage of that resource, because it is a great resource that we have.
Absolutely.
I agree. We talked a little bit about it, but did we cover everything on short-term classes?
Well, I was opening up. Let me bring it back up here, because this is the pizza one, which is going to be going on this week. But there's just everything. You can go through here. We just had a workshop, and we brought in Danielle Hoover, and she was a screenwriter, and she's a screenwriter for Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but she is also a 1990 graduate of Poe High. And so our AT&D coordinator, Markeisha Dugan, she knew her, and so she brought her in and made a special, just an event. So we could get to know Danielle, and we could talk about, what she's done in LA and how she came to do this, and, just talking about the dream. We brought students in from NOC. We brought students in, our students and other students. And then the community came in last night, and I know they had well over 100 present there, but it's just special stuff like that. And we actually talked about that in here. We are always looking for instructors. So if there's a passion that you have, and I know, Andy, you have many passions, but as always, if there's a passion that you have, you can talk to Markeisha and say, hey, I'd like to teach a class. We're always looking for new classes and instructors to do that. So if anybody's listening and you really have a passion, I think of, there's a gal, and she works at Hobby Lobby, and she is really good at, her name's Angelica, and she's really good at sorting and helping you just sort out your life, sort out this, and cutting the clutter is what it talks about in there. And she has a class on that. We have the food classes, we have classes on laser welding, we have all kinds of things. So really, no matter your passion, I bet you can open up our wonderful book and find what that is inside of there. And then also, we always have the Business and Industry Services team, which is right here. And there's all their lovely faces. And they do such a great job. But Yeah. So I really think short-term classes, our CNA classes, CMA, which is the medication assistant, all of those are really a big deal. Our dental assisting class, that's a big deal. We began that a few years ago, and you go through that program and you can immediately go to work. So that's through our adult training and development as well as a short-term class.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did we cover everything that you wanted to talk about?
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about academies and summer camps.
Okay. I was going to mention summer camps, but I didn't know if that was your short term. So
no.
It's
let me cover those too. But right now you can enroll. You can enroll your child who's going into 6th and 7th grade. So if they're currently 5th and 6th graders, we want them to enroll. You can go to our website, or I have a Facebook event that's on there. Just click on the link and it takes you to a page, and you can choose. There's two sessions, A session or B session. And this is going to be the last week in May, 3 days in May. You'll come here. They will be here for close to 3 hours, and they get to sample all of these different things.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's a great sampling of all of our 17 programs, and from health to welding to, all of it. And it's just a great opportunity. And then that's for the 5th and 6th graders, future 6th and 7th graders. Now our kids that were in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, we have these wonderful, and I think they're great. We started them. It's been almost 10 years ago now, and I can't believe that. I remember talking to some of our directors at Pioneer Tech and saying, hey, I think we need to do some academies. We have some of our instructors here. They're here 12 months. Let's have them do an academy. And they have went over so well, and they're so inexpensive. They're just $25 each. They're 4 days, and they're either in the morning or afternoon. We fill morning slots first. Okay. That's what we do. And then we'll fill the afternoon. We learned our lesson on that. So anyway, but from June to July, you can visit our Facebook page and you can look at different weeks that we have going on. So you can find out, hey, what's good for June. Cosmetology will be in June. Welding will be in July. It's just, you choose your adventure. That's what I think is great about it. And so if you're thinking your child is a sophomore and they don't have a job, or maybe they're thinking, I want to take welding. Well, you know what? Send them to our welding academy and see if they really like it. Yes. Because if they do, then that's their program. But if they say, you know what, I think I want criminal justice instead, so send them to the youth police academy, that Tom Berg does with our actual officers here in Ponca City. So I just really want to highly encourage you to do that. Go to our website. You can look at it there. It's the youth academies. Okay. It's the summer academies. The camp is different, and it's in May, and it's geared at a different age group. Okay. So, but yeah, those two things are definitely what I wanted to talk about. And we will be enrolling until May 1st. Okay. On the camps until it fills up. We only take 120. Okay. So, and we're halfway there, almost halfway there now. So that's exciting. But, and then the academies, they take up to 10 in each class, except for the police academy. The Youth Police Academy takes 15, and they're only in the morning. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, great opportunities for our younger generation to sample, Pioneer Tech and say, hey, is this for me? Is this something I want to do? And, I love giving this number, and I feel like it's going to travel up. 33% of our students that enroll, they now tell us that they came to summer camp or an academy.
Nice.
So it directly feeds into, our students attending with us.
Yeah. I like the idea that the summer camp, is it the summer camp where they get to sample each
You class? Do. You sample each at the summer camp, really, and that's for those future 6th and 7th graders.
Because that's where you figure out,
you do.
Unless you've seen things, then you don't really know what's out there and what you can possibly do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And somebody may go in for welding and find out they really like cutting hair.
I know, that's true, and it's absolutely, and everybody,
or maybe they really like baking cakes. Welding and baking cakes is pretty similar.
I agree with you. One's a little more tasty, Right.
Yeah, one's a little more fun. But,
and I know they'll probably make cinnamon rolls this year because they make cinnamon rolls each year, and I get to sample one of those, and I'm very grateful for my time at Pioneer Tech.
So that's a lot of fun. I think that's a great opportunity. And then, it's much better to go to a small academy and spend a small amount of money than invest a whole year in college.
I know.
And find out
in
I
a
never
program.
want to do this again.
Yeah. Well, and one of our purposes is to find people's, what they align with.
Sure.
We don't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
And if this isn't something that you like, let's get you in the program that is right for you. Yeah. And that's why we test people. We look at their, interests, and we find out where they should be put as well.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Because it's a fun finding out your career path is always fun.
It is. I mean, and for me, I'm one of those odd people that ever since I was in school, I went to Chisholm Trail Technology Center, and I took a career test, and it said you should go into communications. Nice. And that's what it said. Now, they didn't have anything for me in communications. They do have those things now,
sure.
At our tech schools and our career techs, but it didn't. And guess what? Here I am, a communications and marketing coordinator. So that stayed with me. And that was my freshman year in high school. Yeah. And so I thought, you know what? I do want to go into that. And as I did it, those interests were there. I knew it was something I wanted to do. And I'm one of those strange people that has been in that career for the last 28 years, and that's all I've done. And so I love it. And I'm so glad for the career tech system, because even though I didn't go, they still affected me.
Yeah.
And just that career, taking that test and understanding what my future held was part of it. It was part of it. So
very important to be honest on those tests.
It's true. It's true because
no
we
one's
want to
judging
place
you. You just be you.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And why would you not want to be? Because it's your future.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to anybody else.
As you mentioned, there's a great team of people at Pioneer Tech who are there to help you figure that out. You don't have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
They can come by, go on the website, make an appointment.
Yes, actually, you can go and you can fill out a form on the website that is for enrollment, and it's not enrolling you, but what it is it's telling Audra Mason and Jamie Evans and all of our counselors that we have there that they need to get back to you.
Yeah.
And so that's what you do. So if you fill that out, they'll get back to you and talk to you about, hey, is this program the right fit for you? Or, maybe you're wanting more of a short-term class. Maybe that's what you're needing because you want to be a future CNA, sure. Which is, a shorter program, and then our practical nursing program, that we have, which we just started a new class. And so anyway, I think one thing that's exciting too is not only our graduates, not only go and they graduate, we have someone that graduated from cosmetology, but I think they said 3 to 4 people in the class were cosmetology graduates, and they've went on to want to get their LPN, licensed practical nurse. And so not only are we serving them when they're in high school, but they're coming back to us.
Yeah.
And because they just said, I loved how they said it. They go, I just love Pioneer Tech. I just want to come back there and be in that atmosphere because, I stand by this, that it's a place where you find your people.
Yeah.
You really do. And whether you're in Ponca City, Newkirk, Tonkawa, Blackwell, you come here and you meet people from all over our district, and you find your people. And
it's also cool that you figure it out. You may get down the road 10 years and decide, hey, I need to go back and try something different, because that happens.
It does. It absolutely does. We have people taking CNA classes and they already have a 4-year degree.
Sure.
But this is what they want to do because they said, I'd like to come back and I want to do this. We have people who are retired, Andy, and they come in and they're just like, you know what? I've decided to retrain.
Sure.
Okay, that's great. So that's why when I say it's for everybody, it really is. I mean, from the retirement, from getting out of school, from not knowing what you want to do, to taking that hobby class. Yeah. I mean, to training for safety at your industry. There's something for everybody at Pioneer Tech. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Terri, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a feeling you'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that would be great.
Because you do a story every couple of months. So
I try to, and I'm so grateful to Kelsey because she'll say, hey, hey, do you have a story? And I'm like, yeah, are you kidding? I'll always get you a story. So I'm grateful to you guys and all that you do with the magazine. You guys do a great job with it. Thanks. And I'm just privileged to be a part of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Come back next week. We're going to have another great podcast. So enjoy this beautiful weather and have a great week.